We are deep in the throngs of E3, and today we got a chance, a little glimpse, but a powerful one, of perhaps the most anticipated game of the year, Cyberpunk 2077 from CD Projekt Red. We got to see a full entire trailer that really gives a ton of information. It's juicy and dense, and if you would with me, let's take a couple minutes, analyze each frame, wildly speculate, and come to conclusions about whether or not we would like it. So the very first thing that I want to focus on is, of course, the description. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, click below and see the full thing. This is what CD Projekt Red wants you to know about the game. Cyberpunk 2077 is a narrative-driven, open-world RPG set in the most vibrant and dangerous metropolis of the future, Night City. You play as V, a hired gun on the rise who just got their first serious contract. In a world of cyber-enhanced street warriors, tech-savvy netrunners, and corporate life hackers, today is your first step to becoming an urban legend. So very interesting wording there when they said that you just got their first serious contract. There was speculation before that this would be a character customized, choose your gender sort of experience, and when we go through, it looks like it will be. Let's jump in. So right away we get to see Night City and the overlapping metro map. It's of course voted the worst place to live in America. You see already what they meant by cyberpunk. It's that 1970s and 80s kind of Sex Pistol motif with neon lights. Finally, from there, it opens up to the dense metropolis of Night City with what looks like lower-income housing below, towers reaching to the skies above, a dense metropolis that still has cars with wheels, poverty, but flying cars, and just that era of materialism that everyone kind of hates. From there, we get to see the cyberpunks in their true natural habitat on the streets with pimped-out mini-scooters for fat people in the background. I think that should be highlighted. That is what the futurists should get on right now. We, from there, get the juxtaposition of that kind of ground-level delinquency to the corporate bigwigs looking at graphs and holding their hands together. Definitely something bad happens if you're looking at a graph and you're holding your hands together. We get to see more examples of the tech, from basic VR to the militarized flying cars. It's almost like a tech noir take, wherein the technology is blocky instead of slick. It feels like it's been forced in our bodies rather than elegantly placed. Just aesthetically, absolutely beautiful. Here we get a first look of who our character might be beyond the original take. Possibly V rocking chains. There's talk again of that character customization with that androgynous name of V. It does seem likely, even from the wording, that we will be able to choose our gender. Still, lethal, supremely teched out, think Blade Runner instead of Star Wars when you're describing these sort of characters. This moves to more instances of violence, cyberpunk prostitution, that's always great. This cowboy motif is ever present in the trailer in a really strange way. Again, we talked about juxtaposition, the dualities of trying to create an aesthetic and a narrative through that aesthetic. When you put that alongside the 1980s kind of punk vibe, random characters with prosthetic arms but huge 10-gallon cowboy hats, that feels really special and really different, and I think that's why this trailer really, really works. From there, we have more of that aesthetic with boxers beating up robots that didn't do anything. They just stand in there. They're supposed to be beaten up. Of course, a racially insensitive portrayal of a cabbie driver talking the ear off of some dangerous automatons that don't seem to care. Fun, quirky, hardly offensive. We get to see that next stark robot face of someone named Day, possibly. Again, really establishing the fluidity of what cyberpunk actually looks like and feels like. There isn't an elegance, there's a brokenness to it. There's a homemadeness kind of look. It's very unique, and I'm totally in love with it. And then from there, we get to see our trusted vehicle. It's going to replace Roach from the Witcher series. And of course, the main protagonist, again, who looks radically different from that first glimpse that I talked about before. That could be someone else. I could be looking into this, but that's what we're doing here. No judgments. And again, indicating character customization. Maybe they're members of the same gang, rather, and your story is about leaving that gang or wanting to be a part of it. Sexy either way. And now there's a montage that just screams Blade Runner. We see that tri-barrel gun, friendly robot pig dogs, chrome team heartthrobs named Lizzie, loving all of it. And some more stabs by Polish designers at kind of the American dream. A pregnant smoking woman wearing an American flag booty shorts and an angry redneck beard threatening you. God bless America. Our protagonist V is again stopped right when he's enjoying some delicious pho. The jacket, the facial marks seem to indicate that he is changing in some way. I'm really betting on members of a specific gang. When you have that many visual indicators, I feel like that will be kind of maybe the net runners or some of those keywords we heard before. More of the aesthetic. 9 times out of 10, I bet we'll be able to play basketball with robot buds as someone else eat hot dogs. I want that, I want that, I want that. Now we get into a slew of images that could be something to do with the main arc of the story. That evil corporate overlord guy that we saw previously, 9 times out of 10, he is going to be the big bad dude that is all too happy to have this fat guy beside him being electrocuted. It seems like this kind of mind hack technology is part of the general narrative pull of Cyberpunk 2077. We get to see nameless characters possibly causing the death of other people in the corporation of Arasaka. Definitely saying that incorrectly. And then, yeah, badass one with a gun, someone ripping out an eye, proof that small business owners still need to defend themselves in 2077. More quick shots of violence, seemingly against that one gang that harbor the protagonist, possibly unwillingly. Maybe there's a chance there to align with one group over the other. I really think CD Projekt Red is going to include choice fundamentally in this game. Car boots up, that license plate Morse code. Gonna say Roach, I'm betting my life on it right now. More driving, ignition, fast cars, Cyberpunk. So there we have it. That is the quickest take and possibly most overreaching take you'll hear today about the new Cyberpunk 2077 trailer. Re-examining the trailer that played during the Xbox briefing, some very clever sleuths online were able to find a secret message that was sent from CD Projekt Red to everyone in the studio. It's a full page of Red that was going through when all of that tech crap was happening. It tells you a lot of stuff, so it's on the screen right now. If you're having difficulty reading it, give me a minute and I will read it for you, because it does answer some of the questions and some of the speculation that we put forward. So here we go. It has been over 2,077 days since we announced our plan to develop Cyberpunk 2077. We released a CGI trailer, gave some interviews, and went dark. Normal procedure for these kinds of things. You announce a game and then shut up, roll up your sleeves, and go to work. We wanted to give you The Witcher 3 and both expansions first, which is why this period of staying silent was longer than we planned. Sorry for that. As soon as we concluded our work on Blood and Wine, we were able to go full speed ahead with CP 2077's pre-production, but we chose to remain silent. Why? At some point, we made a decision to resume talking about our game only when we have something to show, something meaningful and substantial. This is because we do realize you've been impatiently waiting for a very long time, and we wouldn't like anyone to feel like we're taking this for granted. On the contrary, it gives us extra motivation. The hype is real, so the sweat and tears need to be real too. This is where it gets a little bit difficult. But to the point, today is the day. If you're seeing this, it means you saw the trailer. Our vision of Cyberpunk, an alternative version of the future where America is in pieces. Mega corporations have supervised life and gangs rule the streets. And while this world is full of adrenaline, don't let the car chases and guns mislead you. Cyberpunk 2077 is a true single-player, story-oriented experience. You are able to create your own character and, well, you'll get to know the rest for when we show it at our booth at E3. Be on the lookout for the previews. Before we finish, you probably have some questions. Can't read any of that right now. When we told you we were only releasing the game when it's ready, we meant it. We are much closer to a release date than we were back then, but it's still not the time to confirm anything, so patience is still required. Quality is the only thing that drives us. It's the reason we bring an independent studio and your own publisher. How big? Seriously big, but to be honest, we have no bloody clue. what you can expect. And we promise we'll do this before we start talking about any pre-orders or asking anything of you. I couldn't really get that last one there, so feel free. Number 3. Free DLC, expansions, DRM, expect nothing less than when you got with The Witcher 3. As for DRM, CP 2077 will be 100% DRM free on PC. Microtransactions? In a single-player role-playing game? Are you nuts? That's beautiful. Once again, thank you for your patience. If you do have a minute, visit cyberpunk.net, share your opinions. Seriously, the CD Projekt Red team. So there you go. There's tons of hidden information for you to enjoy. What do you think? Is this what we're looking for? Can we be a lady? It seems like you can. Very exciting.